I think we are podcasting, and I'm excited. First of all, I'm excited because we're still on the road. There's going to be a few shows left.
That's right.
The I Mom So Hard tour, the flashback tour, which is, I think it's really fun because we're going back to when we were younger, but we're also talking about like what we're dealing with today, which is topical. So if you're dealing with your parents and you're parenting your parents and you're parenting your kids, our show is for you.
I do find myself saying all the time to my kids, like, when I was your age, in a way that I never have before, because like my kids are middle school age and I remember that time. Like I remember having thoughts about thinking, and like I can say to my kids, like, I remember when I was your age and I felt shy, here is what I did or whatever. Or, here, you know, here's also the very wrong thing that I did. But like, that's why I feel like the flashback show is very relevant, is because we're dealing with these things in our kids' lives. That reminds us of when we were that age, dealing with that.
And
same old shit.
Yeah. And everything's so impactful. And you remember why. You were like, I know that I always say, like, every feeling you have in middle school as your hormones come into check, every feeling is times 1,000. So if it's jealousy, you're feeling it to the point where like it's in your bones. If you're feeling happy, you're like almost like your head's gonna explode. There's no nonchalance in middle school. It's
you really got to talk those guys out of like a real 14 level reaction to say, my son, I thought he was going to punch a hole in the wall over a Zern yesterday. I'm like, you need to get some fucking perspective, dude.
That math doesn't matter.
If this is what sends you over the edge in life,
you wait till you have a girlfriend.
And let me believe you've met your father.
Yeah.
Is that what you like? Give me the goddamn. Anybody seen the orange juice cap? I can't. What? It's not pleasant. Let's not do that, you guys.
100%. And I will start this conversation off by I can see what you're saying, and I can also add to that by telling you that I went on my first mommy-daughter trip to New York City with Eleanor.
Just you and Eleanor. I love it.
There is a caveat. Here's what I'm going to say. There's so many. I have notes on my phone, which, by the way, if you are watching this, I would like to apologize because Jen's printer isn't working right now.
It's a turd, you guys.
And I literally can't stand when people use their phone for notes, like during a bridesmaid or a best man speech. If you have your damn phone, I'm like, that's going to look like shit in pictures.
For public speaking, I think
either have your 4x6 cards that are respectable or memorize that shit. You've got one job.
Listen, let's be serious. Let's invest in some cardstock paper.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's not use a piece of torn out notebook paper. Let's not use a cocktail napkin.
I could find both of those things mildly charming, but you get a phone up there and I'm like, this person doesn't know how to work.
I feel bad even when I have a conversation, like I like a pen. Both of us are very old school.
I'm pen and paper.
I've got Post-it notes stashed everywhere so I can make notes. I look like a crazy person, but I will say to somebody, I'm typing notes into my phone because I don't want them to think I'm fucking looking at my phone because punch me. Punch me if I look at my phone while we're talking.
Also, I'll never memorize anything if it's in my phone. I think that's why I have a hard time with schedules. I just know that I don't do as well in my day-to-day life because I'm using a calendar off of our phone. I have no option because there's no daily planner that can support what we do. It would look like a phone book. I'm not carrying it around. I don't have the lumbar support.
If I write it down, I will remember it, but I will put notes into my phone, and then every month or so I go through my notes and I'm like, what in God's name is this note for myself?
I will make the same note again. I'm like, I have no original thoughts. I've got 3. I'm out of information.
I mean, it's anybody's fault. You could go into my phone and if they archaeologists find my phone in thousands of years and they try to decipher what my notes are, they're going to be like, these primitive-minded animals. These words are barely even strung
How many
together.
soccer teams are they on?
Yeah, I see something about Netflix and then just the wrong title of shows.
Why is this her password?
Yeah, I gotta watch this new show called Spectrum Dating. I don't know. Somebody told me about it, and I made a note. Okay.
It's 100% true. And so the reason I wanted to go to New York with Eleanor is because I do feel like the age of the phone and the iPad, I am so thirsty for connection that I want to spend real time, because I feel like between school and everything, it's just so packed. And Eleanor and her cute little Catholic school had 2 weeks off of spring break, and Finn had a week and a half. But I was like, you know what? Eleanor's little best friend, I say little, but
You
they're
guys-
both sixth graders, and they're both 12, and they're not little. And it's probably like,
No, they're little.
they're
They
like,
are.
you know, what's between like being a girl and a woman? Like a chick. I like the word chick. Nothing pisses, I don't get pissed off in the world. Gals, Jesus Christ. Not
good.
90.
Well,
Not a weird uncle. Like you, hey, you
I
gal,
am
come
both
on over.
of these things,
Fine.
I guess.
I like the word chick. They're just little chicks. You know, they're like, is that derogatory?
Chick, little
They're
chickens.
little chickens.
Yeah,
They're little chickens walking through, you know.
I call my solidly adult woman friend a girl, like girls night out.
Okay, fine.
Hanging out with the
Ugh.
girls.
Fine. That's probably, I'm not going to get in trouble with that.
Ladies is my way of
like
kind of suggesting that
of a
they've been
certain
around the
age.
block. Yeah.
Of a broad, it's
Yeah,
definitely, you might
yeah.
just say like, what,
Well, I'm
you know,
trying to be
you're
polite.
tube tops and cigarettes, baby.
I also am calling myself the same
Yeah,
thing.
I
but
love the word broad. I look at how I'm sitting right now. I'm like, come on.
a couple of broads.
Everybody, a couple of broads makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my daughter and her friend are definitely not broads. They're just chicks, girls, whatever.
Yeah.
They're 12. And so Charlie, her little friend, moved back to New York. She was here. They went through elementary school together. We're very close with the family. And Charlie moved back to New York.
That's a big move. That's
It's
a big
move.
difference.
Broke
Yeah.
Eleanor's heart. They talk every day on FaceTime, and these FaceTimes are so dang cute. Like they show each other like what they're wearing, and then like their nails, and like, you know, they're talking about their crushes. I'm on the other side of the wall, like I want to be in on it so bad. But it's
I mean, let's a move from almost anywhere in the United States to New York. It might as well be Amsterdam in some ways, because
It's a big deal.
Your way of life is very, very different in New York. It is
so different.
the cittiest living that there possibly is. So
It's
you're not like
100% true.
riding your bike down the street. You're not.
Well, you might, but you're going to have a story to tell.
You're going to take it on the subway
You're
to
gonna
a
take it on
park. Yeah.
100%. So they have this really cool old timey brownstone. I'll get to that in a second. But with that being said, I told Eleanor, I said, all right, for spring break, we're going to fly. This is your birthday present. This is a big deal. I got it on miles. You know, I love to brag about budget travel. So we got these flights. And then I told my husband and my son, I was like, hey, you guys need to go to Houston so you can visit.
Wait, I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss the in-laws. But you
I
guys
was
go.
just trying to divide and conquer. I
Okay,
have thoughts in
okay.
retrospect. Things went so I sent my husband to visit his mother.
You got to have a
and my
buffer there,
son
man. You got to be there. You got to be there for that.
Visit his grandmother, and knowing what I know now, we will never go divided again.
Nope.
It's hard to talk about the fun you had in New York when you know that there was another experience happening.
Not as fun.
Not as fun, like a movie.
Yeah.
Like you cut to like Eleanor walking and I walking down the New York City
Yeah.
streets, and then cut to like everybody very, very quiet in a beige room. Like it was
Yeah.
a very different experience. So back to New York where we were having fun. So Eleanor and I, we walked onto the plane, and 2/3 of this plane was like first class. Like you walk by, there was 1/3 was like you were in like your own suite, and they were like on right side and left side, and they had their own suites. Like crazy luxury travel, right?
What was it, American
It was
Airlines?
American, and it was, it's one of those travel bus, huge planes that goes
The first
coast to
class
coast.
section brought to you by Qatar Airlines. There's a shower in there and shit, man.
Right? I'm like, I go, keep walking, Eleanor. Keep
Yeah,
walking.
don't even make
So
eye
then-
contact. It
yeah,
costs
so then
money.
we walk. So she's like, she sees this, and it's all like, what? And I'm like, nope, we're gonna keep going. And then we go through business class, which is the two lay down seats side by side, and everybody's getting
Jeez
cozy. But
Louise.
I go, keep walking, man. We got
Sponsored
this.
by Virgin Airlines.
Yeah, we got this flight for free. We are solidly in the 30s, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
So we go, and
Here we
goes,
are, Spirit
I'm like,
Airlines.
"Here we
Here's our
go.
seats.
Go ahead and just hold on to your baggage because there's no
we
room
didn't pay
for
for the armrest,
Yep, nope,
Eleanor.
nope.
Hands to yourself.
So we're like, excuse me. So it's Eleanor, and she's like, Mom, I want the window. And I'm like,
Oh God.
let me give this to you straight, sister. In no way are you getting the window seat.
No way.
I am
Plus,
not
you're a
doing
kid.
that.
You're going to keep it closed. You're going to look out at one time when we land.
And you're going to, absolutely not.
Nope.
I have worked too hard.
Yep.
Someday you will work hard and you will get the window seat. But for now, you
Middle
can live in a
seat,
wanting.
sister.
You're middle seating it.
Yeah.
So we get on there and you'll appreciate this. I love the whole flight. She's so excited. She's like doing like, I have the assistant phone and I let her take pictures on it. It's also linked to my phone so I can see everything that she's doing.
Yeah.
And so she's like on the flight, like taking a video for her friend, like, I can't wait. I'm going to see you. And blah, blah, blah. It was so cute. I'm like, I'm here too.
I
No
know.
big deal.
Delilah, she'll like set up an entire office on that tray too.
Oh,
She's
makes
like,
me so
get
happy.
a mini stapler and
Yeah.
it's just it's like she's getting magazines and she's making like
She's handing the guy to the left. Here, staple these. We got to get these done.
here's hand sanitizing wipes and there's the little eye
She's got the
patches.
gel-
if anybody,
the gel manicure
100%.
light.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
doing it. She loves a good flight, man.
It's my son. Weird. They're so similar. So Eleanor and I are sitting there and we're watching a movie together and we both find the same parts funny and we're doing the
Oh, no.
Thor Ragnarok laugh. I know who I am in the
She's head back,
Head back.
scream laughing, pounding the seat in front of her.
so much so that the very nice gentleman sitting to our left at one point goes like this. Like,
Holy God.
and I go, I'm so sorry. Find out
It's
later.
Ragnarok. You gotta watch that part here. Take my headphones. You gotta watch this. Every single time I watch this, which is about 700 times, I die laughing in this part.
It's the guy
You're
made
gonna
out of
eat those
stone.
pretzels.
It's the guy made out of stone. You
It
can't tell me
is.
it's not
I-
hilarious.
God, she's
I
amazing.
can't watch that movie. And I never watch it with Jen now because I know she's just going to make fun of me. So
I see that. She's like hiding her screen from me. I see it and I'm like, no,
And then she's like,
absolutely
"No,
not.
it's so-"
Put on a
or
documentary.
she'll touch my arm like, and I'm like, oh, God, oh, fine. I'll watch a stupid thriller, you know. And then I'm like eating. Oh,
Every
oh, oh,
never been-
oh.
You know how when you have a baby on a flight, you're like, you know what? This one loves Trolls too. And I put it on and it just keeps him happy for 2 hours. That's Thor Ragnarok with this woman. I just put it on.
That has to make somebody feel good out in
Nice
the
warm,
universe.
comfy
that's
blanket
like one
on
of my
her and-
comfort movies. I don't know what that says about me. So we get to the so we have the greatest flight ever. We're laughing at the same parts of the movie, and I'm like, this feels different. Like I don't know what happened, but I had a moment where I was like, oh, we have moved into a different part of
Yeah.
mothering, which I do feel like significantly comes around 12. And 11 felt like I kind of knew I was ramping into something, but 12 feels like when I say 12, I'm like, I'm not as worried about her like going up a flight of stairs or being on an escalator or, you know, I feel like, God forbid if we were going to get lost, if we got lost from each
Yeah.
other, she would know what to do at this point.
Yeah.
So there's something about that makes me
They got it together a little bit
a
more.
little bit.
Yeah.
Look, don't
trust me.
don't overestimate. It'll be the thing that bites you right in the ass. But I do think like at the end of the day, it felt like, oh, I see this girl that's like gonna be a woman someday. We're gonna be best friends.
It's true. Yeah.
And I'm already her best friend, but she doesn't. It's
No,
not in
yeah, she
reverse.
doesn't
I'm
know that
trying
yet.
real hard. She doesn't know that we're like. I'm
But
like
stage 5 clinger.
yeah, you don't even need to
me
FaceTime
mom.
me. I'm face to face.
Yep.
You don't need to FaceTime Charlie.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your nails. I
Yeah.
want to, you know. So we get on the flight. It's the best. We land in New York. I love New York City. The
Yeah.
second we get out, you know, a fake Uber driver tries to get me in his car.
Checks all of her boxes
And I'm
because
like-
it's got that constant visual and sound white
Sound.
noise that she needs to
It's
soothe her.
loud and it's kind of there's a pulse to it and it's fast and I'm like, yes. So we take a
It
old school
smells
yellow
like
cab.
hot garbage. It's just-
Yeah, it smells kind of bad.
Yeah.
A little bit of unruly, unsavory characters. You don't know what you're getting.
Got to keep your
Maybe you're
wallet and your
getting a
teeth.
deal.
Yeah.
Maybe you're getting staph infection. You don't know.
For sure you are.
You don't
don't
know.
you touch anything on that subway.
I think this
Go in
is
there
why I
like
have
a
strong
bubbles.
antibodies. I'm like, don't bring your hand sanitizers, you pussies. Let's
at
ride
that.
the subway
Somebody
the way we
left
were
some
meant to.
Gum right here.
You get a weird rash and you're like, I took the A train.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want it to be. I love the trains. I love the subway. I think riding a subway is literally the greatest. If you've got kids over the age of 10, I think you should take them to New York. Now, listen, with that being said, you're going to get on a subway and there's going to be some unsavory characters, or you're going to walk outside and some guy's going to have his pants off, or you're going to walk outside and you're going to see like some super famous celebrity like Kevin Bacon eating a sandwich at a side. New York is
I would
just
love to see Kevin Bacon eat
full
a
of surprises,
sandwich.
or Kevin Bacon without his pants on. I'm just saying,
Eating a
New
sandwich,
York
well, that
is
checks
an
all of my
interesting
boxes.
places.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great. No, it's great. My husband lived there forever. He loved it. When we go, people yell at me to walk faster.
Oh my God,
and to
slow
move
walkers.
out
Don't even
of
go
the
if you're a
way.
slow walker. Don't. That's the caveat. If you get on that
hey.
treadmill, go to a 7. If you can't
That's
keep
right.
that up for at least 3 miles,
If you are looking for a place to vacation where you can enjoy life, it's not New York. You got to be busy. You're on a schedule, and you got to get the fuck out of the way, or
100%.
somebody will throw
don't
punch you.
saunter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
we all have places
that's
to
why
go.
it works for Kristin, and for me, people are just like, "Where are you trying to get to?" They're just like carrying me under their
So fast.
arm and running with me to drop me off because I'm ruining everyone's
Makes me
day.
so happy how
Yeah.
fast we walked. We walked, so we did so much the first day we were there. First of all, the family I stayed with are fantastic, and they're good friends of ours, so it was so nice to see them.
In
And
a brownstone,
in a
right?
brownstone, which
Okay.
is so dope. Like New York City brownstone. This thing was built in 1918, has 14-foot ceilings, like all the original
So,
trim.
I'm picturing like Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City, but like that was divided into apartments.
That was
right?
divided into apartments. Think of it more like the Gilded Age, but not like
Ooh.
that fancy, obviously. But that's the era that it was built. Like, so the ceilings have all that ornate.
Oh my god.
It's like in this place, he's into that. He's the owner, the dad, Roger, is into vintage artwork and all this. So it was so cool.
I love
And then we're
that
like
stuff.
3 blocks from the train. So we get up the next morning and we hit New York hard.
Okay.
We go have breakfast at a place that's known for pancakes, which is like the meatpacking district,
Okay.
which has a High Line, which used to be a big New York City train,
Now
and
it's a
they turned it
park.
into a walkable park.
Yep.
So the weather was beautiful, so everybody's out, and it was so fun.
I will say I will go to New York for the food alone.
See, and this is so funny. I could take or leave the food of New York. I think if you are a foodie, New York is the place you should go, but get ready to spend some money.
Oh yeah.
I'm, on the other hand, totally fine with a $3 piece of pizza, literally every day of the week.
Well, the pizza's really good there too.
$3,
Some of the best bagels are in Grand Central
Bagels.
Station.
like literally meat on a truck. I'll do that. I
Yeah.
know that's gonna hit me the
Yeah.
other way around, but
It's just
don't be a pussy. You know what I mean, New York?
You can really find some amazing restaurants in New York that it's like
Yes. It's you. Jen likes that. I can take it or leave it. I'm like, okay.
if I find it for her, she'll enjoy it.
Truth. An Italian place. Little Frankie's.
Oh God,
Italian.
Yep.
All day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that it's a cash only joint. Makes me think I'm part of the mob. And I know you're not supposed to
1000%
glorify that,
it
but
is,
we all
but
watched The
you know what?
Sopranos.
Yeah.
And we liked it. It was a hit show for a reason. We all kind of, anyway. So we get to New York. We have this great day together. Literally, we clocked something like 16 or 17,000 steps. We went everywhere. We
Can
went
I ask some dumb
museums.
questions?
Yes.
Okay. Because my kids, Dash tried a tater tot casserole last night, which I felt like I should get a medal for that.
That's a big win.
That's
'cause
yeah.
I hate tater
He
tot
really liked it.
casserole.
You know what he said this morning? Because he really didn't want to try it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Here's what is in it. Everything that you like is in it.
Is it
just
green
try it."
beans?
Yeah, I make it as old school as you can. I just microwave mixed veggies from the freezer. I brown some. It is better with beef,
You
but
could
I
put
had a lot of
tater
turkey.
tot on the bottom of a shoe and I
Exactly.
eat it.
Tons of cheese, can of
All
cream,
right.
mushroom soup, lots of salt, pepper, a little bit of browned onion, whatever. That is not the point of this story. He did wake up and say, that really stuck with me. He's
Huh.
like, I go, because it's every food group,
Yeah.
man. This is why I try to get you to eat a balanced meal, because then you've got some fiber from veggies. It
Yeah.
sticks with you. It's slower to digest. He goes to basketball, and he's not hungry when he gets home.
Are
Like,
you
he's-
asking me if we ate a lot while we were there? 'Cause
What
the
I'm
answer is
asking is-
100%.
I know Eleanor, like me, is a foodie.
Yeah.
Did you guys try some
Of
restaurants?
course.
Okay, so
Of
tell me what
course.
she liked.
You can't go 3 feet without literally the most delicious food and
Wafting.
the smell just
Hitting
taking
your
over
face.
you.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying is like I don't need it to be fancy. I I think New York's baseline is so much better than everybody's food
Yeah.
that like you can't get it wrong. You're gonna get a sub. It's gonna be the best sub sandwich you've
Exactly.
ever had. Bagel's gonna be the
It
best.
doesn't need to be fancy. And
no.
when I say foodie, I don't even mean for it to be. I mean somebody who knows food that goes, you want the best,
Yes.
tacos, go to this place. You want the
100%.
Yeah.
So we went to this. I'll give you a good example. We went to this little place that was a food truck first, but then became so popular it got a restaurant place in New York. So like we went to the new, what do you call it, brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So we went and they have these waffles, and then on top
my
is like
God.
savory. So it was a
Yep.
waffle with like cream cheese and salmon with capers. And Eleanor was looking at it. She's like, I feel like it's weird with a waffle. And I'm like, get it.
God.
It's gonna be so. If they can open a restaurant after being a food truck, that thing is
It's gonna be good.
And it was so good. And we kept the other half. So we each ordered one, and we kept the half so we could
God.
take it home. And we left it somewhere. And Eleanor and I are still upset. We're like, where did we leave our? We didn't even get the whole. We didn't even get to eat all of it. It
Yeah.
was so good. So yes, we had the pizza. We went and had Italian.
yep.
And I'm saying you can do that, and you can go super bougie and like you're like really into the food scene, or you can go mom and pop and you're gonna get a great meal.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we went more mom
Best
and pop
diners.
because I was like, New York can be so bloody expensive. You just don't realize that like being out for 10 hours, you're getting on the subway, beep, beep, you're
Yes.
buying something, you're going to there's the world's biggest Starbucks there.
It's an expensive city.
It's an expensive city.
Yeah.
If you're smart, you can, and you know about New York, you can play outside those rules. But we were on vacation, and I was like,
Yeah.
and we didn't have to pay for a hotel because our friends were so generous. We just stayed there. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna buy them dinner. We're gonna go. So we went to the biggest Starbucks ever, which was the girls' dream.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, I can't escape this place. It's just, and Eleanor orders this drink she's never ordered before, and it has 4 shots of espresso in it.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I'm not throwing it away.
Oh my God.
So I've never walked faster, you guys. I was like adding fuel to a fire.
No wonder.
I've never walked faster or had to grab.
I was going to say a rocket coming out of my
I was
pants
like,
is
we're
what.
at FOA Schwartz. And I'm like, where are the bathrooms?
Not easy to find a bathroom
No.
in New York either.
Nope. And let me tell you this. The one thing Eleanor wanted to do, and literally my head was like, I was like, please, Jesus. She wanted to go to the Starbucks, the biggest Starbucks.
Okay.
Her and her friend, top of list.
Makes
the
sense.
second one,
That makes sense for a middle schooler.
Jellycat Cafe.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. I'm going to tell you right now, we're all getting just worked over. Jellycat Cafe. So we're at FAO Schwartz. I get it wrong every time. We're at the big ass toy store in Rockefeller Center. Super cool. Really neat at Christmas. They have the skating.
Yep.
It's worth seeing. It's so cool. There's this thing called the Jellycat Cafe. Okay. And here's what this dumb genius did that everybody is just biting the hook for. And all I'm doing is the math. Okay. Every 15 minutes, this thing is booked until the end of July.
Oh my
Every
God.
15 minutes, all it is a line of idiots like me in line. And you get up there, and some 20-year-old is working behind this kiosk, and he pretends like you act like you're ordering a waffle, and the waffle is a plush toy. And then he goes, oh, your waffle's ready. And he puts it in a box, a to-go box, and $60 later, it's done.
That's what it is?
That's what it is. And I'm doing the math, and I'm like, guys, we have done it wrong. We should have opened a camp or a Jellycat store. That's what we should have. So Eleanor wants to go see these Jellycats.
Unbelievable.
And I'm like, another stuffed animal?
What's jelly or a cat have to do with the
I
waffle?
didn't read the thing.
What is this, like some Japanese anime thing or
It's
something?
it's kind of close. They are cute and they are really soft, but I'm like, get me out of here, man. That's when I was like, too many people line around the block. They had to have security for this Jellycat thing. And I'm like walking through like Build-A-Bear and all this Barbie. Yeah, you can get stuff that looks like food, lemon, avocado. Don't fall for it, you
God,
guys. You've got to stop.
My kid's got stuffed animals shaped like a marker.
Get ready.
I can't
Get ready.
No, this is
Jellycat.
Dash. He's got a light on his desk that's shaped like a gumdrop that changes color. Like it is that only comes
That
from
sounds
this.
way cooler than Jellycat. But Eleanor was into it. She saved her own money. She got to buy a Jellycat. It was a neat. Her and her friend Charlie were having the best time. So I was like, I guess it's kind of worth it. Meanwhile, I'm over, like, I've got my arm up on something, and I'm like, we are just paying retail. We are such idiots. Look at us all in these lines. I'm like sweating through my shirt. So then, but that was my only, I was like, Eleanor, I'm not going to Sephora. I'm not going to, not
You
doing
can
this.
tell Hello Kitty Cafe to kick
Shut-
rocks. We're not
kick
doing
rocks.
that.
I'm not
man.
doing that. We're
No.
done. And so the retail of it all was a little tricky with Eleanor and her friend because I was like, oh, 12-year-olds are really into like, I'm like, we're not going into Golden Goose. I don't know what you think. What?
Excuse me.
Those are
what?
$600 shoes. If you would like to peruse the window, by all means. But if you think this lady's going in with anything other than a sour, no look on my face, absolutely not. So, but then they just want to go into the stores, but I'm always like, you will not, there will be no purchasing of any kind ever. So just know. I mean,
I'll have you know if anybody's getting a pair, it's going to be me, and
yeah,
you guys can
100%.
just.
It's not going to be with you with me.
No,
I'm not going to let
I'm
you
gonna
see
enjoy
what
the
I've done.
Yeah.
So then we go have dinner. We have Italian, and Eleanor's having the best time. I had to get some work done in the West Village.
I think I call bullshit, but okay.
And I was meeting up with Casey.
Okay.
And so I went to the West Village by myself. And let me tell you what's happening right now. I think, and I bet there is this little part of every mother that's like, or maybe they're screaming it from the balconies and we don't hear it because they're all on cruises. There's a little part of me that's starting to understand what life feels like before my kids, like who I was right before, what I wanted to do, what I liked to do, the things that sort of were all the parts of me. And when I knew that Eleanor was safe and that I could go out into the city by myself and got to do the shit I wanted to do, I was like, first of all, I'm fucking fun. I'm fun. And I was walking down the streets like I was being filmed, like Mary Tyler Moore, just walking and looking at everything.
Make it
I paid to go into the Met, and I was at the Natural History Museum, and I was not upset. I was like, this'll do. I was at the wrong museum. I got on the wrong trains. I talked to a couple cops that were like mean to me, and I was like, you're flirting. And I just had the best day.
That's
like,
great.
Got some writing done. I knew I was going to go to see some comedy with Casey at the Comedy Cellar, which is really famous. And I was like, oh, this is what moms, like empty nesters. I know that it's super hard when your kids leave your house, but there's another side where you get a little bit of you back. And I think that the pink flamingo thing where like flamingos lose their pink and then as time goes on, their pink comes back and it's like a metaphor for being a mom. I was pinking it up.
It takes a little toll on your attitude when you've got a young person, regardless of how much you love that person, when they're like, how much longer are we doing this for?
Exactly.
How long is the train? When are we going to get there? Did we miss it?
Yep.
Or let's go
I
there.
want chicken tenders.
Yeah. I'm hungry. Can we just go back? I need a charger. I'm like, it takes a bite out of you.
It does, but it's weird to like all of a sudden go, okay, what do you want to do today? And I was like, oh my God, the sky's the limit. I definitely know that I want to go.
Please tell me you had a third person conversation with yourself on that subway.
Oh, the subway gets worse.
Hey, Kristin. What, Kristin?
You know what?
What are we going to do
You're going to have that
today?
conversation on the
That's
subway
what
and
I'm
everyone
saying,
leaves
yeah.
you alone. But I will tell
Just
you,
gonna look it
I
up
went
on
to the
TikTok.
subway station. True story. If you don't believe in magic, I go to the subway. I go down into the station. There's only 2 other people there. And I get confused as to what side I have to get on to go downtown. You know, I don't have a sense of direction. So I'm like, oh, I think I'm supposed to be on the other side. And so I went over to this woman and I go, hi, do you know, is this train going downtown? She takes her glasses off and I was like, Miss Ray? It's Eleanor's elementary teacher.
Unbelievable.
In frickin' New York City.
Unbelievable.
And we get on the train. We're having a gab. It's so fun.
Kristin's like, is this an intervention? Why are you here?
Did someone send you?
Why
Are they
am
worried
I
about me?
here? Am I here? Is this a weird dream? I slept too hard last night.
Well, good thing I fit in at the New York City subway. And then she got off the train, and then a woman got on with her Facebook Marketplace lamp, and I was like, good job. And I'm here. I know. Subway 101, don't engage.
Oh, yeah?
And I engaged everyone.
Sure.
I wanted to make friends.
I would
I was
too.
on my own.
Maybe I would.
I was just too smiley. And I knew it because then a dude looked at me and he goes, give me money. And I was like, oh no.
I was just
and
about
I
to
saw
say,
focused.
yeah.
I did what you're supposed to do, which is like kind of just like turn yourself away. And then
He's like, why are you crossing your eyes at me, ma'am? Are you making fun of me? No? Huh?
I just turned my body and I looked down at the stroller with the toddler in it and was like making, having a good time with the kid. And then all of a sudden, this guy was like, give me money. And I'm like, oh no. He's like, give me money for my kids. And I look next to me and there's a bunch of kids to my right. And I'm like, oh man. But the thing I remember thinking is like the guy, I could tell that there was something askew and he was like, give me money for my kids. And I look at the kids and I was like, what? And then this woman comes around and she is pissed and she's speaking Spanish and she's speaking Spanish at him and he can't speak very much English. So nobody's understanding anything.
Wait, so those weren't his kids?
Those were her kids. And he was trying to work a scam to get money through her kids. And she basically, in what I could pick up from Spanish, because I know the dirty words, she said, don't you involve my kids in your dirty work, basically. And then she said a couple Fs. And,
oh my God, I love her.
And she MMA'd punched him.
Hell yeah,
like,
she
not
did.
once. I've never seen an arm. It was like on a rotator.
Whoa!
And I was impressed. And I don't mean to
God.
say that in a weird way. I just was like, and this is why you don't fuck with people.
If more
from New York.
moms did that.
She got off that next stop and she grabbed those kids. It was like, she grabbed them all by one arm and like propped them up. And she was like, basically like, you even look in my direction. And I think she just like went to the grocery store after that. It was like a totally normal New York City
Okay, I have a lot of
train
questions.
experience.
So bro gets hit in the face twice.
No, bro gets hit in the face easily 5 times. Fast.
And what does he do? What's
Explodes.
Yells back at
No,
her?
not at
or-
all. He barely even, he was a big guy and I think he could have fought back. And I definitely think that the subway guys, the New Yorker guys would have stepped in, but she didn't need it and she just handled business.
Oh my God, I love it.
And but here's the thing, I was behind her.
I
so
want to
did
learn how to
see-
punch just
Oh,
to
man.
surprise
I've
somebody.
never seen
I want
it.
to
You
learn a
know.
really good karaoke song and how to really make a haymaker.
I'm going to tell you right
Like,
now, this woman has punched before.
Sure.
And she
okay.
has made contact because she knew when to pull back and hit him again. And I got off at the next stop.
I think I'm going to walk.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at the girl with the Facebook Marketplace lamp.
I
And I'm
know.
like, she's just like face forward. And I'm like, God, I love New York. It's so,
Yeah.
by the way, that happens. I've been to New York a handful of times, never had that happen. It's going to happen at
Oh.
some point,
My God.
but I've never seen anything like it. I was actually, I don't mean to be impressed, but I was.
Did the lamp make it out okay?
I believe so, yes. And then I saw,
Okay.
and then on the way home, I was riding the subway. I was like, keep it cool, Hensley. You don't need to make friends on this one.
Remember what you've learned.
Yep.
Rapid punches.
No.
If anybody
Stop
asks for
focused,
money.
but don't keep your eyes in that direction. Keep yourself chill. Just be chill. Just be like one of the New Yorkers. And then I get on the train and I see these 3 folks and I can pick up their accent. I'm like, Wisconsin. And they are looking at everybody just wanting to engage. And I was like, it's the Midwesterner. And I was,
Yay.
we can't get on a subway car and be like, sit down next to someone and not be like, hi, hello, nice. I like your jacket. Your nails look really nice. So they were immediately like talking to everybody. I'm like, okay. We're all trying to make our way here in the old Big Apple.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I spent the day out in New York City and then met Casey out
Went
at
to
the
a
Comedy
comedy-
Cellar.
Amazing.
Oh my
Casey's
God.
in New York.
I just loved seeing her. It was like in the middle of all these people, beautiful, sweet Casey with her big smile. And like, I just hugged
Yeah.
her and we had dinner together. She ordered a salad, which is upsetting. I'm like, okay, Case,
Wow.
like, this is why you're fit. And I'm like, I need Pepsid all the time.
Yeah.
So then we went to Comedy Cellar, saw 5 stand-ups that were just like so good. Just like my stomach hurt. They were so
Yay.
good.
Oh, that's so fun.
Then the next day we go to Central Park. Casey meets up with us. The park is popping because it's the first day of like really good weather. And so the lawn nobody had been on the lawn for the whole year. So it's bright green. It's exactly what you want in New York City. It's like softball game going on, a mom like walking her kids.
Did they have
There's, like,
the guys doing the flips and stuff like that? I absolutely
always
love it.
on the bar, guys doing like the pull-ups. I watched
Like,
that for
for
a little
money,
bit.
yeah.
I watched a softball game, female on third base. I was like, she got an arm on her. She's playing third base. And I was like, she just burned it to first base. I was like, way to go, third base. Like,
And
it
I
wasn't weird.
recognized her from the subway. So
She had a lamp.
very
She got
powerful.
and then who knew? But the woman up to bat had just beat the shit out of somebody on the subway train. I saw her later.
Her arm, incredible.
Yeah, incredible swing. I know. And then the best thing of our trip.
When the punches happened, did you say anything? Were you like, look out for the lamp, or like, my face?
I was behind her.
Okay.
And I was like, you do you. I ain't saying nothing. She runs the show. Who am I to say anything?
I would have like,
if she was like, hold this, I would have been like, okay.
I would have maybe just eked out like, yeah.
Basically, all I did was help the parents move the kids. New York, baby. I'm like, it's a subway. We're all like different people, and like you just are trying to like. It doesn't happen all the time, but the subway can be a little bit surly, and you just Well, I'm just saying. I was part of New York culture at its finest.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go into the last part.
More. This is too exciting already.
Too many exciting things.
Oh my God.
This is 3 days of operational New York City.
Crap.
So Casey and I plan on going to a show on Saturday night. New York.
A second show.
Okay. Broadway is popping right now because LA is slow with film and television. So all these like very talented, very famous people are like, I'm going to go do a Broadway show. So Broadway is just, every single show is good. But the tickets, no joke, to see Othello with Jake Gyllenhaal and Denzel Washington are averaging like $1,800 a piece, which I think is gross, but whatever. Like,
how much?
$1,800. Like, you can't even get them. They're so sold out. And then the ones that are like fancy are like,
who's paying that kind of money, man?
Well, it's people that are famous and people that have.
Guess.
I don't know.
$1,800.
They're not on the subway with me.
My
I'm telling you.
first car was $1,100.
I know, man.
$1,800 to see Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm not doing that.
Fuck no.
No, I'm not doing that.
Unless he confesses that he's got that red scarf.
Say that. I knew you were gonna say that. She's like, I'll pay it if I get like 5 minutes alone with him just to have him.
Yeah,
I just want to know about this scarf. Okay, so Casey and I go, Casey, let's just throw caution into the wind and do day of tickets. Todaytickets.com.
Okay.
And what you do is you basically put your name in for any ticket that you would take.
Not like a show on Netflix, you guys.
You can't go wrong on Broadway right now.
Okay.
Well. You can't go wrong. How do I know? Because Casey and I got tickets to see Gypsy for $50. It was the cheapest thing I did in New York. And then because Casey's a down-ass chick, we ate pizza before. And we had one cocktail. And we went and saw a show.
She wished it was salad.
No, she doesn't. Oh, my God. If we were at a goddamn pizza line and she was like, do you have salad? I'd go, New York, where's the woman with the punch? New York, I'm sorry. LA has spoken and we are.
Smash her with the Facebook Marketplace.
The story of Gypsy is about a woman who is a stage mom and she has a daughter. She has 2 daughters and she's trying to make them into this like really successful vaudeville act. And one of them leaves because the mom is too houndy and the other one becomes a stripper.
Sidebar. It's not about Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Yes, it is.
No.
Not Gypsy Rose.
Not the one that had her boyfriend kill her mom.
Wait a minute.
Because she had Munchausen.
Is that what she's named after?
Yes.
Gypsy Rose after the...
Yeah.
Who? Why would you name...
Right? Now it all comes together.
I feel like the judge just did the math on that and was like, I'm going to give her a lighter sentence.
Oh,
she started with like this.
Yeah. That mom's bad shit cray.
I just connected the dots that is how terrible that is. And also, if you're using Gypsy as your metaphor for motherhood, you need to rethink everything because she ends up a super successful stripper and then they kind of go into business together.
Yeah. I think she'd have been okay with that. Yeah.
With that being said, this cast is, I can't explain it. So they've cast it as Audra McDonald, who's this beautiful black woman that used to be on the TV show The Practice, which was a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy, if you remember.
Oh.
And she is an opera singer and she is a Broadway darling and she plays the mom. Her name is Joy Woods and she played the daughter. Now I can't remember the name of the daughter, the character name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Audra McDonald was being interviewed and they were like, we think you should play the lead in Gypsy. And she's like, it's usually a white woman. And they were like, We want to go a different direction. We want it to be you. And when you see her in this part, you can't imagine it being anyone else. That is what the truth is. And the woman that plays her daughter, her voice and her ability, her dancing and her singing and her acting, all of it is so good that you feel like you want to come out of your seat. It was that good. And Audra McDonald, who's my hot flash, she sang this solo where she's in the middle of the Majestic Theater. She's center stage, and she just has to belt over and over and over. And you can see her veins, and she's got her arms up, and she's like, basically the song is like, why couldn't it have been me? And the whole audience stands up and gives her a standing ovation during the show.
Oh my God, goosebumps.
Dude, I have goosebumps right now. I clap so hard my hands hurt.
I'm also worried that you've got a new karaoke song.
Absolutely not.
I can't.
In 1,000 years.
Okay, good. Okay. But
This is
after
not
a couple
meant.
drinks, she gets real confident.
Everything's coming up. Absolutely not. There's never been a time I've been more humbled where I was like, get me out of here. I don't belong anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Who
what
do I think
singing
I am?
sounds like.
Yeah, this-
Okay. No, you go to Broadway. There's a reason that it's Broadway, right?
My God.
You can't go to a bad show.
There was a woman who plays this like side character, and they're really funny. They're the strippers of the burlesque place.
Yeah.
And she played the fucking trumpet for real. She's singing, she's dancing, she's funny, and she plays the trumpet for real. And not a little bit of trumpet. Like,
She can really play.
She
Yeah.
can really play. I'm like, of course, because in Broadway, you're like, can you juggle with your butt?
Sure.
And they're like, yeah, I've been doing that that's just part of my fun.
I have not been to a Broadway show. I've been to like Broadway touring shows,
Yeah.
like when they come around, and I've always been like very blown away by them. But even I remember seeing like the Bellevue Little Theater in Nebraska being a kid and being like, I can't believe that this is
It's magic.
happening in front of me.
It's
Yeah.
magic. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Casey and I could have got tickets to anything, and I think we would have been happy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But Gypsy in particular was like so awesome, and being there with Casey was
Lucked
so
out.
fun. And then we both like went to the train station. I was like, I'm not ready to say goodbye, and it was so
Did
so
you
fun.
run after the train?
Which I got on the wrong train.
Yep.
So it's fine. And then I got
Several
off the train.
hours later.
Yeah, me and the lady with the that Facebook marketplace lady was
She
really
didn't know where
trying
the
to
fuck
build
she
her
was
up.
going, did she?
She's like,
like,
I'm lost.
I'm embarrassed.
So yeah, so that I know
That's
it's
so
But here's the thing:
great.
it sounds like a mother-daughter trip, but really, it was just me
Just a
getting to
mother
be
trip,
a
a little
mother
bit.
trip.
No, it was because she got to have so much fun with
She
her
did.
little friend that
It
she was missing
her-
her so bad.
Filled her little soul, and I saw her so happy. And you know when your kids are in a good friendship, when the two can be sort of quiet and still with each other, they don't have to
Yeah.
like there doesn't have to be a ton of entertaining.
Right,
Like,
right.
they were so good to just hang out and show each other. Like they had matching hoodies and they have, lip gloss. And I was like, peace out. I'm going to go get on a train. If nobody needs me,
Yeah.
I'm going to peace out and go rock this city.
I mean, it sounds lovely. And as I know from recently having taken a vacation, that really those like the parts of the vacation where you're on the flight together and you're like
the
that
best.
forced interaction where you like are cracking each other up and like having conversations you wouldn't normally have. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best part.
And just watching Eleanor be happy with her friendship just made me feel like I was like, you're standing on the outside looking in and you're like, oh, I know how good she feels right now and how
Yeah.
important this is. It sucks that I'm not included. I have a third hoodie that would have matched that I haven't returned yet.
Yeah.
But I did feel just like it was just cool from beginning to end. And I-
Kristin was like, I'm an awesome mom. I'm an even better karaoke singer. And I just got to get home and
It's like, I'm going to practice my audition. Broadway's next, baby.
How much is a trumpet?
How-
I think I can do that.
I can do clarinet pretty convincingly. No, I can't. Not that one. Nothing. I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. Listen, if it's one thing I came out of New York with, it's being humbled. But even that's awesome. I'm like, can't figure out a train. I was in the middle of a fight. I don't know where I am.
Had some really good pizza though. It sounds
I
like
will
a
say
win.
one thing is like, the places that were that are notoriously kind of fancy were my least favorite places.
Ooh, like where?
I thought the West Village. I was like, there's so many people and it's really expensive and everybody sounds like they're from the valley that lives in the village. Everybody's gonna be so mad at me.
Really?
It's all like, and I'm like, I gotta go.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, but beautiful summer spring day in New York
I swear this is in the West Village. There's a super like 100-year-old bar called Shipwreck Mary's.
That might be there.
Which
It definitely makes sense.
Oh
All
my
the
God.
places are really old. I definitely think I was in like a, place, and
They-
I went in
they-
to try on a necklace, and
She just did like a head bob thing, which
you
would
have to do the
indicate
thing where you're grabbing
hipster.
air that isn't
Yeah,
there.
grab air and
Grab
hold
air.
it in your tightly in your fist, and yeah,
Yeah, I went in and tried on a necklace, and I knew I was in trouble because I just thought it was like a normal store, and I tried on a necklace, and he was like, "That's $7,000," and I was like, "What? I'm going to Canal Street and getting a fake one."
I know that shit makes you feel so bad too. And also, it doesn't matter that you're like, wait, you work in the store. You can't buy you're like, you don't own
It
the
makes me-
store.
Well,
how have you made me feel like such shit?
It's a New York experience. I just was like,
Here, hold this bacon wrapped dog while I try on this $7,000 necklace. You peon that works in the store.
"Don't be mean." That guy didn't mean to. Listen. Here's what I like about him. He didn't
Hey,
kick
you
me
do
out
New
of the
York
store.
your way. I'm going to do it my way, okay?
He didn't kick me out of the store for knowing that there is no chance in hell that I can afford a seven. He entertained me putting it on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a really nice necklace."
I would have punched that motherfucker
Yeah,
five to
just
six
like,
times.
"Here's
in the
my
face.
credit card.
Yeah.
I need that necklace and not your attitude."
I think
I
we
would literally walked
did
out
we
of it.
podcast though?
Yes, we did. I could just keep going about me.
Pioneer.